Good evening. Welcome to the Power Hour. I am Steve, along with the urban sensation, the icon known as C Red. Cactus Rack, hashtag Russian Blue, is a bit under the weather tonight, so I don't think she'll be joining us. Maybe we'll get a visit from Hot Rod Daddy Andy since they are of the same household. That is to be determined. Also, Rion Skills. He's Rion Skills. He's feeling it somewhere. We just don't know where right now. But our guest tonight, man, if you like independent wrestling in the Midwest and you don't know this man, you might not be getting out to the right places because he's a little bit of everywhere, and the shenanigans follow him everywhere he goes. And that was certainly true Saturday night. Big Power Hour welcome to the innovator of hashtag sexy violence. This is one, the only Quinn Whittock. Quinn, how are you?
What an introduction. I am doing just well, as you can see over there.
You got a lot. There's a lot of gold. You are on an expedition of gold, so to speak. And we're going to jump right in since both C Red and Quinn Whittock were in attendance this past Saturday night in Homewood at Wrestle League. We are going to do some Wrestle League shit. This is my new shirt. I was given this by Don Capri. So Don is dope. Wrestle League is certainly dope. And might be my new favorite wrestler. I like to call him Don Juan Capri. I mean, dude's on a roll. He's dating an actress. I mean, what more do you want out of life than to be Don Capri? But we'll get back to Don later. So,
you can name a couple things.
Well, okay. So let's talk about that finish. And the main event at Wrestle League was, of course, Quinn Whittock defending his title. What we thought was going to be against the Ewok, but the Ewok was unable to compete, being sight impaired now because Quinn went full on Fantastic Four Human Torch. You've seen the footage by now. Quinn shoots fireballs out of his hands. So Marvel is suing Wrestle League. They'll be in court a while, but
actually, it's a little. Chris Jericho ruined it for everybody already earlier this year, so I might as well. It's a little gimmick, no bigger than like one of these little like Xbox controller battery, and it hooks right onto your finger. Go to any Magic store, spend $50.
No, we don't want to see
become triple champion, dude.
We don't want to know what's going on behind the curtain. I want you to be a part of the Fantastic Four. You would make a great Johnny Blaze.
And we live in real life, Steve.
Not necessarily. I got.
He don't.
No,
he don't, Quinn. He don't.
He's right. So we have this main event, and the person that got the shot at the title is a man you know quite well. We call him Mr. 100 around these parts, and that, of course, is Joey Dalton, who, when you think about it, is one half of Team Deathwish. So
absolutely, I don't even think you have to think about it. He most certainly is. He's 50% of what Deathwish is.
That's what I'm saying.
Is a Deathwish without him, it's just Quinn.
It's right. So thinking about you fighting your very close friend and tag team partner for the title, you never know what you're going to get in a situation like that. But you guys went fucking balls out in that match. I mean, literally at one point, Quinn was flying through the air and his bag fell out of his tights. But that's a whole other thing. Jamie caught it on camera. You'll see the footage. Balls were out. There were balls. Anyway, so that match lasted 14 minutes and like 48 seconds. So to take it to the 15-minute time limit, you guys were seconds away from impact. And then, of course, you do what you do and you get the win, and Quinn retains his title. And, Joey is left there in a heap. And then you go out and you pause for a minute and you get that deranged Quinn Whittock look in your eye, that faraway look like bad things are about to happen. So you take out your little Human Torch gizmo and you get back into the ring and it looks like you're going to light up your friend. Well, Ewok has been on commentary with me all night and he has seen about as much as he can see. He goes in that ring and saves Joey, only to have Joey beat his ass down. So by the end of the night, after a very violent and spirited match, Team Deathwish it's like the Wonder Twin powers were activated, and there you were standing together, united. as
It's almost like we knew what we were doing, right?
I smelled setup because yeah, I've seen, you and Joey just in a parking lot doing stupid shit like that on each other. So you guys beating each other up is nothing that the world hasn't seen in recreational times, not even necessarily in a ring. So
Why wouldn't we bring each other to the limit? I mean, we've
so
done it in every state we've wrestled in. I mean, it's
it
nothing
was
different to
hell
us,
of a
more than
match.
me and Ed.
The crowd that was in Homewood got more than they paid for. That it was really something. And then when you guys took it to the Ewok, people had to come out. Louis
Yeah,
decided,
Lewis always has to ruin everything. God.
well, he's got a responsibility to the people. We can't have you killing. We can't have you making dead bodies everywhere. Hint, hint. Um. So now, anniversary is coming up, Quinn Whittock, and I don't want to say you've done fucked up, but man, of all the people to get in a war that's become so very personal, why would you want it to be Ewok?
He's in the way, I suppose. I mean, like, if you need like a direct answer, like, all right, well, look at this from like my perspective, right? Like, no one in Chicago would give me the time of day for the longest time. Written off immediately, blacklisted like freaking everywhere. I get a chance to go up into another state on another promoter's whim. Ben McCoy, by the way, who I owe the start of the last couple of years, is
He was here last week and
firmly in
he had
his
lots
palm.
of flowers for you too on this program.
Yeah, so I pick up a championship, my first heavyweight championship. I lose it very suddenly to a guy named Josh Price, the wrecker, wonderful worker. He's out of commission for right now, and I wish him a speedy recovery, honestly. Um, I get that championship back this past August. I get like that chance to right the wrong. You ever have a regret? Something that you really wish, like, oh my god, if I could turn back time, if I could be 18 again, if I could just,
Every
I
day
got to
of my
right
life.
that wrong. Not a lot of people get the chance to right that wrong, and I got to right that wrong, and I righted the hell out of that wrong. And I've been holding the frontline championship for, let me unprofessionally check my phone here, 164 days
It's a
I've
lot
been
of days.
frontline pro
It's a
champion.
lot of days.
I
And you
work my ass off to bring prominence to it, to wave that championship like a flag because of what Ben and Crystal have done for me, the positions they've put me in to succeed. And they know that I will knock it out of the park, which is why they put me in these positions. I get thrown into contendership for the Rocket Pro Championship
let's
this
just take a look
past
at this
December.
sexy poster. How about this guy? Look at
Yeah,
this.
oh no, that's remarkable media content from Frontline Pro. If you want
That
to know
is
why
some sick ass
I've been
shit.
so hard with them, things like this are the reason why.
Justice for all and more for Quinn. Look at that. That's February, by the way. February is coming like a freight train out of control. We are more than halfway through the month of January already.
Absolutely. And then again, I mean, we get to bring the great people of Wisconsin once again, Joey Dalton versus Quinn Whittock for the Frontline Pro Heavyweight Championship. I mean, I'm so proud of this kid for bringing it so hard. So hard. Oh, he's so
He
freaking
might be one
remarkable.
of my favorite people in this business. I didn't know an awful lot about Joey Dalton, and then he did this show, and I found out some of the most golden, magical things about this young man in his past.
His entire journey from Dick Butson to Mr. 100.
Yes, and we were on YouTube that night on the show trying to find all that old footage because we wanted it. We wanted that smoke all night long.
Yeah, I don't know. They've got way too many matches out there on that trampoline, and too many nights we've spent doing other nefarious activities and watching like 20 of those matches straight and giggling our asses off.
That's what you should call yourself, nefarious death wish. You got to opportunize that nefarious is a fine word, especially in Scrabble. See, Red, you were there at Wrestle League and you saw all the goings on. What were your thoughts on the main? And would you personally want to pick a fight and make it personal with someone like Ewok?
First of all, how can you not expect balls to the wall when you put Quinn and Joey together? First of all, when they're a tag team, again, hell, they give no damn. So why would you think they wouldn't go out there and perform against each other top notch? And that's what friends do. Friends push each other.
First ones to bring each other to the limit.
You know, they're gonna, you know, they know each other so well, and yet they always try to bring something else that the other person might not have ever seen, or, you know, they might have said, yeah, we should try this, or you should try that. Yeah, that's the night they're gonna try every damn trick in the book. So one hell of a match, Quinn, to you and Joe. So you bring up the Ewok top.
That's a bad
do.
That guy's a bad motherfucker.
But I put myself in Quinn's spot. See, Quinn now has a target on his back. Why? Because he is the champion. Now, I get it. Okay. Hey, however he won it, he won it. You know me. But Ewok should know. I mean, it's not rocket science. Get it? Rocket science, Rocket Pro.
Yeah. We're going to talk about how he backdoored his way into the RPW champion. That's coming up.
It's not Chinese algebra. It's very simple. Like, why would you get in the ring, regardless of how the match ended or after it ended, and think that you stood a chance against Death Wish? See, because at that point, it was no longer about just Quinn. Death Wish made a statement that whether they're on opposite sides fighting each other or in a tag standing side by side, they are Death Wish. And Ewok, again, maybe it's that New York thing. Things don't always connect right. I don't know. You know, like, that was stupid. You know, so he got what he deserved. I ass kicking. I mean, I ass kicking. I mean,
yeah.
And I understand Quinn, because guess what? Quinn doesn't want to be, like, you heard how he talked about, he won the Frontline Pro title, and then he lost it. So that made him drive harder and harder till he got it back. He doesn't want to be a fly-by-night champion at Wrestle League. So he's going to do the same thing. He's going to fight, bite, fire, tornado, tsunami, whatever the fuck you got to do.
Absolutely. And to your point, I don't mean to cut you off, but to your point, like when you just referenced how I lost it and it lit the fire again. And once you regain that thing you lost, you don't see shit the same way. You know, like you realize that, like, it's not just about like getting to the dance, it's about staying at the dance, right? And that you're gonna have to do 10 times more than you ever did to get it to keep it. You have to make an impact. You have to make a statement. You have to do something loud that is going to make people fear getting in there with you.
You've done that. You burned a man's eyeball out.
I set a man's face on fire. I'm
Yes,
pretty
you
sure
did.
no one wants to step in the ring with me right now.
I was there the night the face burned.
I just knocked Christian Rose out with a crowbar.
I was there for that as well. I saw that.
I didn't see that.
I saw it. It was you know, Wrestle League. I don't know if it's been flying under the radar, but of the promotions that I work at, there is just something so
gritty,
interesting that they do there. Now, I worked the Wrestle League show when they were at Homewood the first time for half of it because I couldn't get there until kind of the halfway, and they had commentators and they brought me in for the second
double
half.
booked yourself.
It was amazing. Well, no, I didn't know. I had family issues, but it's a block from my house, so I had to be there. So then I got to be there for the big CCW Wrestle League Dragon Gate thing, which stopped traffic. That place was popping. The first show was good. The Chicago Gate show was amazing. But even though maybe it wasn't a sold out house, what I saw Saturday night caught my imagination in really unsuspecting ways. Like, I am a big Kid Latmark now. And because that kid, there's just something special about that kid.
You're welcome.
Jesus,
partial responsibility for that kid. You're welcome.
That kid, there's just something there's something magic about that kid. Motivation Mike, I think he's a piece of crap, but so uber talented, and he is nefarious, like you said. And then you look at Shaq Jordan. I had worked with Shaq once at Rocket Pro, but I hadn't seen Shaq in his element. Shaq is a cocky Ric Flair-esque motherfucker at wrestling.
You want to see Shaq at like Apex, Shaq pre-pandemic? Like, I would be mystified to see where he would be if 2020 didn't shut everything down. If he had that year of growth and development, he would be, he is good. He is good as hell right now. He would be miles ahead of where he's at right now if 2020 didn't shut everything down. Wrestle League 2019, Quinn Whittock versus a guy named Eli Silva. Before Eli Silva rebranded into a guy named Shaq Jordan.
How everything changes.
Or debranded, I guess. Debranded and started going by his actual damn name.
That whole
amazing match. He was phenomenal. Hard to keep up with at times. Like, yes, that is when I knew. Yeah, I don't know what he's going to be something.
And people
undeniably he will be something.
People hate that motherfucker. They hate him. He is hated. He got booed more.
Class A Jagoff. I love it.
I mean, you got booed maybe a little more at the end after you did what you did to Ewok, but Shaq Jordan, villain personified. And then you got Jesus DeSavio, who's got that whole
fuck, we want to talk about growth and development.
He's got that whole
strides he's made over the past year and a half alone.
He's got that whole Antonio Banderas trip going on. That's what I called it on commentary. I mean, that is a desperado type character that he's got. That's very entertaining to watch. The point I'm making, and I'm taking the long way home, is the characters at Wrestle League are great. And then you've got the drama between Logan and EJ Swanson. And I thought EJ Swanson was walking to a match to die. And that kid showed up and showed out and did not make it a walk in the park for Shogun. He had to work for that win, which just tells you about what Ewok was saying on commentary the whole time. Was it's a different breed at that Wrestle League training academy. We are training our guys to go to war for the long haul, and you'll have to kill us to beat us. And I really felt like that was the truth with each and every match.
Absolutely. There's varying degrees of seriousness that's taken, and I guess that's
Ewok called you a pillar.
I mean, I'm the first graduate of that school, so I guess
Ewok called you a pillar, and then he called you a bitch. So he was giving you love and hating on you at the same time.
Well, even regardless of how mad he is at me, it's undeniable. You know what the hell I've done there. Ask Lewis about what I've done there. Ask Logan about what I've done there. Ring up the guy named Warwick Stevens, who probably doesn't even exist anymore. He will tell you everything I've done there. Me and Warwick Stevens built a wooden cage inspired by Terry Funk that he retired in. We did a fatal four-way ladder match to incarnate the Proven Championship. I made the Proven title. I designed the Proven title. I named the Proven title. I won the first Proven title. Like if there was something to do in Wrestle League over 2017 to 2019, myself or Shaq Jordan did it.
And that makes you, that makes you what he said you were. You're one of the pillars of that company. So that's our word of the night.
And if he's gonna try to I don't know, like build a legacy or something off of what I'm building here, he is sorely mistaken. He is sorely mistaken. I mean, I know we got March coming, and I'll just leave it at that for now.
I mean, Louis said that it's going to be you and Ewok at the anniversary show, but that it's going to assume that Ewok gets cleared.
What if he's not?
The bro can't see.
What if he's not cleared?
Then I don't know.
I'm going to sit here at home. Maybe I'll go and buy a ticket. I'll just sit in the crowd, hold the title all night.
You could come on commentary with me. That would be fun.
I mean, if you guys want, I'll get in the ring and do karaoke for the main event. It'll probably be more entertaining.
Can we do a little Starship? Nothing's going to stop us now. You got to do the Grace Slick part.
Fuck out of here.
So Wrestle League was it was a fine show. You certainly caused more than your share of drama. We certainly had drama with your Proven title. How about that Andy?
Shaq Jordan's Proven title.
Well, Shaq Jordan's Proven title.
I just named the damn thing. Come on now.
Shaq
firmly belongs to that man. He earned it. Earned it fair and square the right way.
He did not earn it fair and square the right. He took that shit. He victimized that boy and took that shit. That was nefarious, to use a word you used. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The Proven title at the anniversary show is a fatal four-way with a ladder.
Way to bring it home. Way to bring it back into a full circle. I love it. I love it.
We're quartering around. We're coming around the bend. We're coming around that mountain when she comes. It's Shaq versus Jesus versus Andy, who is suddenly a whole different Andy. And then you've got Russell All Time, who suddenly is an epic performer. Not that he wasn't good before, but the last couple of months, Russ has taken it to a whole new level. I mean, don't get me started on the shuffle bullshit. Don't get me started on the Aaron Rodgers bullshit. Don't get me started on the LeBron James bullshit. But that spear might be one of the prettiest spears in the sport right now.
No, they say you just need one good move.
I've 8 years I've had one move, so I'll go with that.
You just need one good move. I'll admit he gets a connection. He can get people going. I think that dance is the most idiotic thing I've ever seen inside of professional wrestling.
He's rebranded the Cabbage Patch, which
that
makes no sense.
Yeah,
that's it.
Can I start walking backwards and call it the Steve Walk instead of the Moonwalk? Can we do that?
Judging by his formula, it'll work.
No, it doesn't work. And that's the thing, Quinn. And I hope he's watching. Stop it. You're doing a fucking dance that we were doing in the late 80s, early 90s. Stop. They
got Cabbage Patch dolls, Russell. It was all about that damn dance.
And that's the sad part. You weren't even born. And I'm sure he saw his mom doing the damn dance and then decided, hey, I can do it too. But I'm going to call it the Russell. No, stop that shit. Stop it. You look stupid doing it.
He's a modern day Icky Woods.
Stop it.
In true wrestler fashion, stealing something and calling it something else.
Everything old is new again. One final thought about Wrestle League before we move on to the Quinn Whittock of Rocket Pro, and we've got a lot to talk about there. There was a match, the Bros and the Wrench versus the ARC. Quinn, did you see that match?
I got to see a little bit of that match, I suppose.
Now, there's been some debate on social media. Been some debate on social media about how that match went. Red, you were in that match. Take us through it.
What is there to say?
At one point,
we fought, and so I mean, let's be honest. I already went into the match. I'm not 100%. I'm still not 100%.
That's true.
That's nothing new.
They made you work hurt.
What?
They made you work hurt.
Hey, I don't care. The worst part for me was breaking up a pin and my shoulder completely giving out.
I thought I saw that. I thought that happened.
And giving out to the point where it felt like one of the bros had just took a damn hammer and fucking popped my shoulder. Like that much pain. And so I'm going to publicly apologize to my house, to Steele, for stepping in the ring and not being 100%, while they went out there and gave it their all. So we were already at a disadvantage. I thought I could deal with it. I thought I could handle it. Clearly I couldn't. And we lost. I mean, that's just the bottom line. It's wrestling. You don't win every fucking match.
And
but I thought that we could win, and I thought I was healed enough to go forward, and I'm not. So I'm taking some time off from in-ring performance for a while.
That is unfortunate. We will miss what you bring to the sport in ring anyway. Let us also clear up some false reporting, which I'm involved in as well. I have said for months that Red got knocked out. It did not happen a second time. Yes, Louis hit Red upside the head, but Red was already injured at that point. So
more fake news.
I am fake news. So
you are fake news.
Hey, but you know what? We can admit this. We can admit this. When it's wrong and it's discussed. We can
accountability and self-responsibility.
That's all we got. That's all. I would never want to report something that's false. The extenuating circumstances, because Red disappeared behind the ring for a long time. So I just assumed he got knocked out. He did not. So we recant that statement. And I would implore the JFW podcast to recant their statements as well. But we'll talk about that another time.
Hey, stop. Because I understand what you're doing tonight. But tonight I'm interested. Because this is the first time we've ever had Quinn on our show.
Sexy violence. It just makes us that much better.
Quinn, I have to know.
Yes, sir.
What made you decide to get in this business?
Oh, Red goes back for the money shot. I usually ask that question. Red just changed the game.
How long you got?
Shit, how long you got?
Oh, geez.
Much like Team Death Wish, NFG is how we operate. No fucks given. So go.
All right. Well, let me see, because there's parts of this that are like for me, and then there's parts that I tell people. So, like anyone else, I'm a kid, a child watching wrestling. My earliest wrestling memory is, living in Blue Island in some apartments. I forgot what street.
You are a Blue Island native?
That was just one of the first. I've moved around every year up until like 4th or 5th grade.
Actually, I do know that. I've talked to your mom many times about these things.
Oh, dude, don't talk to my mother.
She's a lovely human.
Don't talk to my
mother. Hey, she's a nice chat.
Speaking of my mother, living with my mother at the time, I'm fucking 4 years old. We are watching WCW because we weren't allowed to watch WWF because they were crotch chuck and suck it and showing titties and shit.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So we're not allowed to watch at the time. So we watch WCW. Ric Flair makes his entrance, and I am immediately entranced. It was the first wrestler I ever like fell in love with watching was Ric Flair. And I know, like, normally when I tell people that, like, they look at me and like with how I look and how I work, and they're like, "What bullshit? You're lying." No, Ric Flair. Ric Flair was my first guy when I was a kid. And then,
Woo!
absolutely, the man, still the man. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
That dude likes to smoke.
He felt up my sister in 2008, and I've never been mad about it. Like,
I mean, if somebody's going to
Flair, what do you expect? He's Ric Flair. You know the roads that man's paved in order to be able to, like, he's able to do that. He can do that. You don't know what he's done.
He kisses all the girls and makes them cry, so it shouldn't be a surprise.
Even that fat one over there. All throughout the entirety of my childhood, wrestling is like a constant up until like 2008. And then I'd start hit like high school and stuff, and like it stops becoming cool. Smoking weed and drinking and girls and doing dumb shit with your friends is way more cooler. So
yeah, and his name is Joey Dalton.
Yeah. Oh no, dude, Joey's like 7 at this time. He's considerably younger than me.
I don't think that probably mattered at the time either.
He was actually a really good kid. He was a good kid. I think I corrupted him.
Once
he turned like 20 or so, that's when he started. Never mind. I'm not gonna.
I already know.
But,
I already know.
So around high school, I kind of like disconnect from it, like the beginning of high school. So I go a good like handful of years, like 2008 to maybe 2010, 2011. My sister gets hit up on Facebook because she used to manage in a company called PCW way back then.
Fun fact, that was the first place I ever worked.
Yeah, that is the place that taught me how to do sound, that taught me how ring announcers are supposed to speak. Jared Priest taught me how to run the ropes and take a turnbuckle.
I owe a lot to Jared Priest myself.
You see, what else?
Who was your sister, if you don't mind me asking?
Uh-oh.
Do you remember? Do you know Bam?
Yeah.
Yeah. When he was doing his Irish gimmick way back.
Vaguely.
Like, what is his name? What is his name?
It's before their time, Quinn.
Brianne's here.
It's before his time. I've been here, sir. I'm trying to help y'all out before you start going down a path you don't want to go down.
Yeah, wait, what did you say? Christopher St. Michael's. Yes. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I forgot your name. I feel like a dick now. But my sister started managing him way back. And she did that for a while, and there was a little bit of a falling out with PCW and her, and I just kind of like left in that, you know. She ends up getting hit up a handful of years later, around like 2010, 2011 or so, by a guy named Billy Wack.
Oh, Billy Wack. My dream is to do commentary with him.
Billy Wack was at the time working on something. I don't think it ever really came to be, but they were working on something. I think it was called Dynasty Pro Wrestling, and he was working on it with
Dynasty. Dynasty was supposed to be the replacement for Windy City,
like Windy City 2.0.
Yeah.
She ends up managing this guy named Misfit Manners.
Okay.
They end up dating. I end up meeting him, and I get really close with him. We become like really good friends. I didn't have an older brother, so like older brother kind of figure. I'm still very like young, trying to find my way in like my teenage years. I just need an older brother, and he kind of fit that role. And she starts managing him again, a whole new character for her alongside Misfit, and he ends up convincing me to come into training. I'm at like a really low place in time, and I hit him up just asking like, yo, how do I deal with this? I need help. He's like, you know what? A lot of us come into training not because like, like there's guys here that have been in like 8, 9, 10 years that like they know how to do all these basic things, but they're still coming in and taking bumps and doing drills and all this stuff because like it's therapy. It's like a physical, like it's a therapeutic thing. It keeps you like mentally regular, like you keep yourself on some kind of a schedule and physically active, and it's something that we all love anyway, so like why not just come down and give it a try? I'm like, you know what, I think I'm going to come down and give it a try. And that kind of like reconnected me, and I went into the Berwyn Eagles Club and I had my first day of training. We set up the ring, me and 2 other guys that were just as skinny. Took about 45 minutes to set up a ring by ourselves, which I thought was freaking phenomenal for how small we are. And we then do a warm up. I thought we were going to get in the ring. We get everything nice and tight and perfect. And Misfit goes, all right, everybody on the outside. And we stand on the outside of the ring, and he's standing on the apron, and he goes, 1,000 squats. And we all go, fuck. So we do these 1,000 squats.
I go, fuck.
Yeah, well, we do this 1,000 squats, and I'm staring at the ring the whole time, just like, I just want to get in there. Let's just do this. And it's just one day. It's just one day. So I go through it. The entire warm-up was like 100 something push-ups, and like, oh dude, he put us through like a SEAL workout, like just made us bludgeon ourselves. And then we finally get in the ring, and legs are spaghetti, arms are noodles as well. Like nothing works properly, and now we got to run drills. It was the absolute worst. And I remember driving home being so mad at him and then waking up the next day and not being able to think about dick else. Because he was like laughing at the fact that I couldn't do it. And once you tell me, hey, no, you can't, like, all right, fuck you, watch this. I'm going to. And like, I stuck with it. And like, before I even like looked back, it was like 6 years in already. I was like, shit. And it's just been therapy. This last like 2 years, I think 2020, when everything got like kind of taken away from everyone, that was when like I didn't have access to my, oh my gosh.
I'd like to ask you about this period.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I think you are rocking with Gangrel for this shit. You're looking fairly emo.
That is the kid that would cut like promos on Facebook. Oh, shit. And like catch a bunch of fucking heat locally for it because I was saying a bunch of no stuff, and I was like, no, I'm gonna get heat fucking somehow, dude. Yeah, I caught a bad reputation being that guy.
When I make the promotional material for these shows, I scour the Facebook pages looking for interesting shots, and when I saw that, I'm like, oh hell yeah, he was fucking Edge from '98.
Oh, dude, in love with it too. Oh, absolutely loved it. That was
fucking, you were fucking
hey,
Edge,
Quinn.
Yes, sir.
Quinn, real quick. I remember that time frame. I remember talking to you when you first showed up at Rocket Pro and saying how proud I was of you because you were willing to do.
I remember that conversation.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't even know how you got away with half the shit you got away with. But I was proud of the fact that you did it because no one else was doing it at that time. I remember that phase. I was like, this motherfucker's going to literally set the world ablaze.
Sometimes it just takes some balls, dude.
Yeah, who you tell? I'll let you be.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Rion.
So now Rion brings up Rocket Pro, and you are champion there as well. Now, wrestling, you have been the incumbent champion for a minute, obviously Frontline Pro as well. Rocket Pro, you are about 2 months the champion, and you got the championship there in unconventional ways, shall we say. You had a
I
little
won
bit.
the Rocket Pro Championship 1 week before I stole the Wrestle League Championship.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought that you had been wrestling champion for a while.
No, I was a frontline champion
Okay, then maybe that's
past August and the beginning of December.
So,
I did like 4 things and stole the Rocket Pro Championship, and then a week later, I went in the Wrestle League ring and casted a fireball because I'm a wizard.
The winter of Whittock. The winter of Whittock.
Yes, yes. And so far, I mean, it's rolling on, man. The snowball's rolling downhill, and it's getting a lot bigger.
It really is, because obviously suddenly you're involved in a championship match via GM Damian Saint. We didn't even know. He comes out and he says, "Oh, by the way, Quinn Whittock's in this match too." And we're like, "What?" I usually get a nice sheet of paper that tells me everything, but every now and again,
well, it's wrestling, and things change at the last minute all the time.
Hard
and,
subject to change.
I mean, so let me interject, dude. So by me not working there, I'm just going based off of what they've advertised. So I'm like, okay, great. And all of a sudden,
that show, you were mad. I remember that show. You were mad when all of a sudden you're like, "What? How did he get there?" I remember.
It wasn't that I was mad. It was the fact. It was like, hold on, how the hell did Quinn get in this damn match?
You were mad.
And I text Steve, what's the story? How the hell? He was like, just gotta wait and see. Why the hell I gotta wait and see? I'm texting you right now. Tell me what the hell happened. And all he could say was, circumstances. Like, what? Really? No.
Circumstances.
Tell me what the hell happened.
We need show content.
For the next few days, I'm in agony. Like, he won't tell me shit. Nobody on Facebook is saying how the hell you got in this match and how you won. And he doesn't reveal it until the following week episode on the Power Hour. And I'm just like, wow. But with all of that being said, still, congratulations, sir. I ain't mad at you.
I'm trying. I appreciate the congrats.
Well, you've had some pretty good fortune, because you had quite the barn burner of a match with Christian Rose, who has worked himself into some impressive fighting shape over the last few months.
Absolutely.
And he took you pillar to post. I mean, that was a hell of a match.
Yeah. I will not lie. He was whooping the shit. I mean, in order to win, I had to pull out a crowbar. So
you did.
I mean, I tried going for a couple of my usual things here and there, and he had him scouted. I mean, I know for the past couple months he's been on commentary for all of my matches. I go on the Rocket Pro YouTube page, I go check out little pieces and clips of my matches, and I hear his voice on commentary.
He doesn't
go, ladies and gentlemen, we got Christian Rose on commentary.
He is one of my.
I know he's watching.
He's one of my favorite commentary partners. He is really good at it. So when he stops wrestling, he is easily a commentator forever, because he's that good. But he's been watching you, and he
was watching, and I could tell he was scouting from just how he was speaking.
You hit that.
I knew what to expect. He's going to be looking for all of these different angles around. Yeah. He's going to be looking for all the things that I would normally do, and I'm going to go ahead and give it to him, and I'm going to go ahead and let him set up for something. And I always have an escape route, and there's always a plan B, C, D, E. A lot of people just rest on plan A. I got about 20 plans. It's like Batman. I have a contingency plan for everything.
Quinn is Batman. You heard it here first. And you can go on the Rocket Pro YouTube page, and you can watch Christian Rose and Quinn Whittock get it on from last month's resolution. But now Rocket Pro has stacked the deck against you, because now Quinn Whittock, Sexy Violence, is involved in a fatal 4-way. So you don't even have to get pinned to lose your belt. And
explain to me how the deck is stacked against me, Steve.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
I not win the championship in a very similar contest? 3 other guys, all about twice my size, all throwing me out of the ring every chance they get. And all
Yeah.
it takes is one opportunity. I can just I will hit the ropes in a handstand, come back, leap up higher than you've ever seen a white boy with blue eyes leap. And as I fall down, pull your face through the floor. Or I just smack you in the temple with a crowbar.
That's
In
real.
a 4-way, I mean, no DQ, right?
That's fair. But it's the people you're fighting. I mean, Christian Rose at this point, he's had to deal with the mass vigilante, aka Bucky Collins. So now the cat is out of the bag. We know Bucky is the masked man, and there will be accountability for that. But you now have to deal with Marche, whose headspace is not great right now. And then you have to deal with our favorite Ghostbuster, Steve Michaels, the Bear Hug, Chicago Bear Hug. That's a dangerous combination. Now, on the other hand, there's a lot going on with each of those men. So is this a tough task for you, or will this be the greatest cakewalk of your career? Because really the only person focused on you specifically is Steve Michaels. Marche's got a head full of bad wiring because of all the things that have happened, and we're still waiting for him to take Shogun shot. Christian Rose can't turn his back because someone might attack him. And now we know the name is Bucky Collins, and we all know what that means. So is this a detriment, or does this play right into your hands?
Somewhat of a middle ground. I mean, it's not like it's going to be a cakewalk. I'm going to give everybody in this match gets their due for me. I mean, I'm not one to short anyone on disrespect because I was shorted on it for a very long time.
I feel that.
I think, I mean, I'm going to go right in line with what you said about the headspaces of Marche and Christian Rose. They're clouded. They're concerned with other things, and I don't think their heads are going to fully be in this match. I do think I have an obstacle in the master of the Chicago Bear Hug. Coincidentally, a guy that I've kind of been wanting to test myself against for a while. Every time I see him, there's something else about him, you know? Like you could look across a locker room and you see that there's, you know, this guy does this and that's his style. He's got that look and he does this kind of whatever. And then you see Steve, who literally stands head and shoulders above everyone. And he's just a Goliath of a man. But he's also got to worry about two other guys. So we'll see how it goes. I suppose we'll just see how it goes.
I mean, you've been, like, you know, Rion was saying, you've been a major player at Rocket Pro for a long time now. Rocket Pro is such an interesting thing. There really is no place like it.
It's an anomaly of its own. My first match there, Flash and I tag teamed against.
No. Wait, I got to stop you. We don't say that name on this show.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't. We don't say that name. No,
yes, we do.
This is a Flash free zone.
No, if you can say Willie, we can say Flash.
We ain't saying Willie anymore either. You know what that means. You know where we've been with that. We don't do that no more.
We can say
Gentlemen, focus. Gentlemen, focus. Let this man say his thing.
What were we talking about?
Flash.
Oh, yeah. Me and Flash tag teamed against Maximus Orion and Michael frickin' Myers. So I like to think it's been a nice long journey from the gimmick character kind of comedy-ish match up into the main event area of that company. And it's great to be trusted with that slot, especially when they like draw one of the biggest crowds around the area, like
how about those crowds?
Northern Illinois area.
I mean, when you peeked out from behind the curtain on that Saturday for Resolution, you looked at that arena, didn't you just sit back and go, oh my God, you really can't fit anybody else in this building?
We are so fortunate for Rocket Pro to be what it is. And I love that every time walking out there, and like the production value they put into everything, like they could just, like pipe and drape everything like any other company would, and send whoever out to go play wrestler for the weekend, but they give a massive fuck, and they care, and they put so much into making everyone look like stars, because they are, and they are stars themselves. I cannot put that company over enough. Same with Frontline. And I mean, like now, same with Wrestle League. And this is why I've kind of locked myself down to maybe like 4 companies this year. And last year I did over like well over, well, not well over, like 101, 102 matches. Something
Yeah, I
like
saw
that.
you at CSW last year. I saw you. I
was going for quantity, and just quantity, just trying to wrestle everywhere I can. Because I always, you always hear you need 100 matches in a year. And I did it, and did it. And I'd worked like 3 or 4 times in one day, and did like double shots and like double duty, double shots. And yeah.
Not a big fan of the double shot. Red loves the double shot. Red loves that shit.
Yeah, well, it takes a certain kind of person to like get psyched up about it. Some people fold under the anxiety, and they'll, oh my God, I got to get there now. And like when my very first match of 2022, I was on the first half of the show at Rocket Pro, and then I hauled ass out to Lake Station to go hit ARW. And I was in a triple threat over in ARW. And as I was walking in, one of the production guys was there, and I was like, yo, when do we, like, I was still in gear, ready to go. And I go hauling ass in there. I'm like, yo, how long do we have? And he was like, when this next match is over, you're up next. And I was like, all right, cool. So I get into the locker room, and I see the guys, ding, ding, ding. And that match had ended. And like, all right, well, hope you guys know how to walk and talk. And we went out there and we survived, and we did it, and we got through it, and it wasn't trash. And I thought it was a marvelous escapade to start a year on. And I think it set the tone for what I wanted out of that year as well.
ARW,
so I went for quantity, and I got quantity, and now this year is quality. And God, I wish I could tell you guys more. Shit. Now, I don't want to go like tooting my own horn or anything, but like I get antsy, I get good news, and I'm like, and I want to tell the world about it, but I fucking can't. So just know that if, to the 3 or 4 of you out there that are Quinn Whittock fans, this is going to be a really good year to be a Quinn Whittock fan.
Yay! All right, so it's a great, in Wrestle League, I really worked Wrestle League a different way this time. Before the show started, I conducted 19 pre-show interviews, which I have never done anywhere that I've worked ever.
You monster.
It was, to be given that kind of freedom to do something like that, having just worked there only a couple of times, was a tremendous thing. And I was like, my God, this is going to be all over their YouTube page, all these interviews we did. So I just appreciated them thinking enough of me to let me do it. And then I go back to Rocket Pro, and, they let me do crazy things that, most places don't let me do. IPW lets me do things I probably shouldn't be doing. But the point is, there are places out there, and you say, quality over quantity. I work a lot of places, but there are just a handful of places that put me in interesting positions, and I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. And you have to pay that appreciation forward when the quality comes, especially when you're considered for those like quality positions, those quality spots. And like,
so now I want to know what you're doing.
And put you in a valuable position. That's you got to pay that back, dude.
So now I want to know what you're doing this year. Now I want you to open up and tell us everything. Now I want all the smoke.
Let me see if I could give you like a little bit here. Let me ask for.
We're about to let Red give you the flowers, because when we have somebody on the show like you that Red has worked with many times, we like to let Red do his vet thing, because there are plenty of people out there that will shit can you and tell you, you need to work on this. You don't do this well.
Mm-hmm.
But when Red gives the flowers,
believe me, I know. I'm my own worst critic. I know.
Yeah, but when Red gives the flowers, we stop the show here. So I'm going to let you say what you were going to say, and then we're going to let Red do the flowers because this is my favorite part.
Well, let's let Red do his thing. Don't let me interrupt on
Red.
Keep my spoilers. I'll keep my spoilers.
See Red, take out that bouquet and give Sexy Violence some flowers.
Hell no, just because you asked. Nah.
Oh, come on, man. I recanted the knock the fuck out statement. Chris Tucker's not seeing you now. I said I'm sorry.
Anyway, Quinn, we've had many conversations. But the first time I saw you perform, I was blown away. You talk about your size and how you call yourself skinny. And I constantly I overlook any of that with your ability to control a crowd, yet give people what they pay for. I've never seen you wrestle where people were on their phone or this is a bathroom break or whatever. You have people locked in to you. To be in the ring with you is expect the unexpected.
Every time.
Which is great. And I'm not gonna lie, I judge somewhat some people. And I looked at you and I said, okay, is this guy really that good? And not only have you shown me throughout these years that you're that damn good, I hear people talking about you. So when it gets back to me about Quinn Whittock, oh yeah, kid's that fucking good. Like, I'm not going to give my stamp of approval on Johnny Fly By Night because I've seen too many of them. Way too much. You have so much talent that it is ridiculous.
And
I never want you to lose the way you work, the way you work a crowd. Like, I don't give a fuck about fireballs and all this other shit.
But it is pretty cool. Being a wizard is fucking awesome.
It's cool.
I'll dress up.
But I want you to constantly stay true to yourself, but never lose that. Because if you can stop me, like the first time I saw you, it was that moment of, okay, I'm gonna peek through the curtain. And normally I'll peek through the curtain, like, that was good. And I'll walk off, go.
Red doesn't peek through a lot of curtains. Doesn't peek through all the curtains all the time.
But to peek through the curtain and damn near want to stick my head out because I want to watch the entire fucking match. I don't want to miss that. I don't want to miss. Like, I feel like if I watch your match and I walk away, that's when I'm gonna hear everybody go, oh, and be like, oh, I didn't see it. So I love you, bro. Some of the shit you do, you scare me. Just being honest. But then I guess that's why they call y'all fucking Death Wish.
Sexy violence.
Exactly the reason.
But dude, you are awesome at what you do. I can see why you are now in the position you in. Normally, I would be a little judgmental with the winter of Whittock, but you deserve it. You deserve it. I haven't made it up to Frontline yet.
It's coming to you. Frontline's coming to you at
Frontline
23.
will be coming to you real soon.
Oh, I know. Trust me.
I'll be there.
We'll be coming to front. We'll be coming to Frontline.
I
but
bet.
Rocket Pro
I bet I
and
love
Rustle League, they know what they got in you, and they trust you. And even hell, Frontline, all three companies know what they've gotten you, and you're one hell of a talent. Never stop believing in yourself. I know you don't stop pushing yourself because every time I turn around, you try some shit that I would just hell no, not in my contract. No,
you.
I don't work like that. But I love you, bro. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Love you guys too.
The
And
roses.
I appreciate all those kind words, dude. I really do. Especially coming from like, the older guys of the scene that's been around and like been doing this for a lot longer than probably I've been alive. Like it means a lot. It really does.
Ain't that old?
It means tons.
I think the thing that Red was saying that I think means a lot, at least as far as I can see, being who I am, you resonate. You resonate with people that have been in the business a long time and people that are new. You're one of those characters. You're one of those presences that has something for everybody. And that is something that we sorely lack in this business right now. And I think that is your calling card. And you were saying earlier that, it took a long time for you to get respect in Illinois. And that resonates with me a lot because respect is very important. And you have more than achieved the respect of your peers in this state. The work you've done in IPW, the work you've done in RPW, the work you've done at Wrestle League, whether it be Wisconsin where you got your respect initially or now. I mean, there's no hiding. Sexy Violence is a major player in Midwest independent wrestling right now. And it's just going to get bigger and better for you. And I think that's what
I'm hoping.
I think that's what's cool. Rion, you got any thoughts? I mean, I know you're sitting there somewhere doing something. Are you having lunch with Max again, or what are we doing here?
Just listening to you guys. I feel like Quinn is good enough for me. I don't have to say anything. His work speaks for itself. I really don't have to say anything right now.
But we'd like to hear from you nonetheless.
No, you would like to hear from me. I speak to Quinn every time I see him. We have already been head up. In the short time that I was at Wrestle League, I went to him straight up. He already knows what I'm talking about. We have conversations all the time. Yeah, that right there. That right shoulders up. Like we always have conversations. So like I don't have to come on here and continuously, dare I say, like stroke his ego, because I don't want to do that. Because the way that I look at it, and this is just me, like there's a big difference between passion and pride as opposed to ego and drive. And if you look at it from that standpoint, they all sound the same. Because I could just say ego and drive and passion and pride and ego and everything. Like I could say a bunch of weird stuff that doesn't mean anything. You don't want to hear that. Let that man speak. Just let him speak. He's good enough that you don't have to hear me say anything.
All right, well, Rion has certainly just take the pod out of podcasting.
Yes, I did.
Go ahead, Quinn. Go ahead, Quinn.
Did.
Go ahead, Quinn. Rion just told us to fuck off in the most eloquent way possible, which is amazing.
I love him. I absolutely adore that guy. But yeah, like he was saying though, when you just mentioned ego and passion and pride and all that, and like I like to think that if you can get the mixture of those just right, you know, like 30% this, 30.5% that, and get all the levels of it just right, you can end up with the most beautiful blend of obsession. And like if there's any trainer or trainees out there, rookies, aspiring wrestlers that are like, oh, I want to get out there and get out to states and become champions of these states,
like
how
Dr.
you get
Solomon.
this, how you get this to happen is stop celebrating all the small things. Understand that it's all building bricks. Don't treat every little success that you have like you just won the title in the main event at WrestleMania. You can't overplay everything. Be real with yourself, first of all. Secondly, become obsessed and look at what you want with racehorse blinders on. Nothing else fucking exists. All that exists is you and your goal and the path to your fucking goal. And if you just stick with these two things, tunnel vision and build on the small wins, your small wins become big wins, and the tunnel vision eventually gets you out of the fucking tunnel. Obsession.
Wow, that
healthy obsession.
That made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. That was pretty impressive.
And I didn't have to say anything. How awesome is that?
But you just did.
Rion just right all the time. He'll give you what you want, but there's a price. Yeah, we know.
Quinn is crazy, but unfortunately, it's true. You're wrestling in a state that I can agree that is very unappreciative, and I've said this before. Nobody. It wasn't until we collectively, as the Soul Touchers, left Chicago.
You're talking about Shakara.
And yes, and didn't realize, as you said, like we had built on, these little bitty things. And it wasn't until we came back home, my very first trip, and realized we're right back where we started from. Like you would have thought all the noise we were making, we would get all these bookings and people didn't fucking happen.
It matters to you a lot more than it matters to anyone else.
And it wasn't until people started hearing other people, not from here, making all that noise. It's like, oh, for real? Who are these guys? We've been here the whole time. What are you talking about?
We've been here laying all these small bricks, and now you're coming by appreciating the castle once it's finished.
So
that was so good. That was fucking good.
That was very eloquent.
That was so fucking good.
Very eloquent.
Damn you.
So, I understand. Quinn, let me ask you this. With those 3 beautiful belts behind you, how long can the run of Whittock continue?
I mean, how long am I going to be alive? Like honestly,
that's amazing.
I think after a certain point, these won't make me anymore. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And that's where I want it. That's where my tunnel vision is looking at right now. That's what's at the end of my tunnel that I keep hauling ass toward, is not needing these to make me, but reverse that and make it to where when one of these gets put on me, it brings that up a million times, and or however much, but like I want to do a service to this business, and I think if like you're supposed to leave it better than you found it, right?
Right.
So if it means that like holding all these is what's going to be like the best in order to leave it better than I found it, if I hold these for the 5 years a piece, then that's what it's going to take for me to leave this whole thing better than I found it. If I did a good job with it, then when I end up losing these, if I ever end up losing these, you can guarantee it's going to be a night that everyone's going to talk about for a very long time.
Okay.
And I believe that it should be serviced. It's just however long it has to take for it to work. If it keeps working, it won't end.
Well, I will say now I can't. Ben was on here again last week.
We love Ben.
And
I
Ben,
adore Ben. Ben McCoy is one of my closest friends right now. In this phase of my life, he has become a very, very close friend. I very much appreciate that, man.
Hashtag last run. Hashtag.
The crazy part is I knew Ben. No Ben. Didn't realize I knew Ben till we said it last week here on the show.
It was all here.
So Ben had nothing but beautiful things to say about you. But for me, every month I constantly hear about Quinn Whittock and Rocket Pro. And like the bangers you are constantly putting out.
They are constantly putting me in there with guys that can actually go.
Christian Rose is a delight.
And I'm like, wow. And I'm not shocked, but at the same time, I'm like, well, damn, how many? Like every month this kid is putting out bangers? Like, damn. Like, okay.
Job.
Cupid's Carnage. Another banger.
It is.
Another banger.
But let's be honest, Quinn. You've seen people that they reach a certain level and then they crumble under the pressure.
I had one bad night.
And then you realize they weren't who we thought they were.
Well.
So if your reputation through the wrestling world right now is indication of what your future holds, shit, boy. Next show, I'm just gonna hand you an index card and say, can you sign this for me? That way I can frame it, and when I'm in my age, hey, can I'll sell it on eBay for,
See you right at the retirement home selling Quinn Whittock autographs. That's my takeaway here.
Some ridiculous amount of money, so
be able to get a good like $50 for it at the time.
Maybe. Could be more. Quinn Whittock, you are slowly becoming a national treasure. And I remember back when I first started at Rocket Pro, and you came and sat next to me at the commentary booth before the show started and said, hey, just say some shit. And we started making puns on your names, and we coined the sexy violence. It just came out of nowhere. And the fact that you have used that as your moniker when we kind of just spitballed it at that table at Rocket Pro. Anytime somebody takes something you say as a commentator and runs with it and makes a whole angle about it. Once upon a time, Renee Van Peebles, I called her the Queen of Mean. And to this day, she still wrestles as the Queen of Mean. Now, it means whatever it means to people. But to me, I was there, the first one that said it, and that means a whole lot to me. Every time somebody calls you sexy violence, I have nothing to do with how successful you are, but every time somebody calls you sexy violence anywhere else but Rocket Bro, it's like an angel gets its wings. I feel very gratified just to have been there at that table when that just came out of both of us.
Yeah. Well, you said it, and the moment that you said it, something in my head was like, "Oh shit, that's it." Is like I like to, like, they say you gotta like reinvent yourself every now and again. Every like year or two, to come up with like the newest phase of your life. Like, and display that. So I'd gone through my very first one. God, I'm not even gonna say that name. The second one, I stole from Mad Max. It was the War Boy Quinn Whittock. Like the face paint and stuff, and that was very short.
Never forget. Never.
That was the beginning of the Slum God Quinn Whittock, and I loved being that guy because that guy stole a title and put it in a trash can and set it on fire in a very small, very small venue that was not very happy about it. He got to fucking fall off a ladder onto like 2 or 3 other ladders. I got beat up by baby faces left and right, thrown into stuff. Yes, that was the wonderful night. I was so happy to do that. I was so happy to do that.
Facebook
I remember
page
talking
is
about
full of
that.
gold.
I remember
Yeah,
talking about
that
that
also
on the
made a
morning
couple
after.
people mad too. Yeah. Oh fuck! What were we just getting on before you showed me all that? Oh, the sexy violence name. So I'm at that point in time, I'm looking for like, what do I call? Because I'm not that kid anymore. I'm a fucking adult. I'm responsible for myself and accountable for my own actions and shit like that.
And
So,
Joey Dalton, you're responsible
yeah,
for him,
right? So, I'm just trying to figure out like, because I don't want to just name something and force it, because then it sounds forced. And like the best nicknames are never the ones that you come up with for yourself. It's the ones that your friends call you because they see something and they're like, hey, how about this? And like all of a sudden that guy's being called this nickname for 20 fucking years. And yeah, you said sexy violence, and it went into my ear and did not come out of this one, and it has been stuck in the center of my brain ever since. And I've just been like, holy shit, that is what this version of me is fucking called. It most definitely fucking is, because I am feeling the fucking shit out of myself at this point in my life. And I like to think my shit looks violent as fucking shit. When I'm hitting somebody, it doesn't look like I'm hitting them. I'm
pile
fucking
drivers off the top rope. Yes, that's all part of that bag. I was just glad to be there that random Saturday when we were spitballing names, and we had Quintastic, Quinn Frenette. We were doing all kinds of Quinn stuff, and then sexy violence just popped out, and you're like, do that over and over again, and that's what I did.
So fortunate.
It's a magic, like I said, as a commentator, when you say something that resonates, it makes you feel so good that you're right where you need to be at the right time. And I'll never forget that.
And when shirts are made, dude, first one's free on you, dude.
I can't wait to have.
You are where the first one is going
on the show, just like I am wearing Don Free shirt right now. Quinn,
I'll give you 7 of them so you can wear one every day and never have to wear anything else.
7 Quinn Whittock sexy violent shirts. I'm all in on that. Frontline Pro, we had Ben last week, like Red was saying, and Ben was amazing, and he said many nice things about you. Talk to us a little bit about where Frontline Pro is headed.
Frontline Pro is headed for the fucking stars, man.
He has got a vision like I have never seen.
Absolutely. And it started as a good cause, and then like all snowballs, if you just keep pushing the snowball, it'll keep getting bigger, and it just keeps rolling and keeps doing its thing. We had a bunch of plans in place a while ago. Some stuff fell apart, and that's where I wasn't even supposed to hold the Frontline Pro Championship last January. I wasn't supposed to be there. Was supposed to be another match. The then champion could not defend, unforeseen circumstances, so on. His opponent couldn't even make it, so he couldn't even contend for it. So Ben and myself were already scheduled in a match, and we needed an interim champion at least at the time. And I ended up pulling off what I think is one of the slickest victories I've ever had. And
I don't know. The
held it.
Rocket
I
Pro
wasn't
victory was
even
pretty
supposed to, but we gave it a try. And I remember the next show that I came out as champion and the place lit up, and it was not what I was expecting. And like, they believed it. They believed what I had accomplished. And like, well, fuck me, we got something rolling here. And we've been rolling, and the tag team division over there is great. We got guys, the Aaron Arsenal, Coda Jacobs, Culture Nation, which is Rockin' Rivera, Rita Atlas, Shaq Jordan, EJ Swanson.
You had me at Shaq and EJ. Rockin' Rivera, come on, man. Guy's on my shit list.
He's wonderful. He's a great person. You just got to be on the good side in order to see.
I am clearly not on the good side of Rockin' Rivera.
I mean, I will not lie. Like, yeah, he'll be a dick. He'll be a total asshole. But I love it. I absolutely love it.
He is a great villain in every way, stretch or form. So, Frontline Pro is really heading in a direction that nobody saw coming. Rocket Pro doing similar things, Wrestle League doing similar things. Is it the fact that Rocket Pro, Wrestle League, and Frontline are visionary, or is sexy violence the common denominator?
I think that all of these companies see the trajectory that they are on. And when you are on that trajectory, you need a marketable face. And I think that's where I come in.
You are a marketable face, and you are calling out other talent. So before we end the Quinn Whittock segment of this show, I would just like to exhibit A for the audience. Well, hang on. So that was a moment at Rocket Pro where you said, do you want to see a dead body?
Who wants to see a dead body?
And then our friend Joey Avalon says, I see you. So what the fuck? Are we calling out the Jet? Are you you are not wearing a Joey Avalon shirt? Do you know how much Joey Avalon has made my life miserable for a calendar year? And now you're repping the dude in the shovel in his shirt.
I am trying to do whatever I can to get somebody's fucking attention, dude. There's being a cool friend, and there's looking out for people, and there's making sure people can end up getting a spot here. There's putting in a word for people, but sooner or later, where the fuck is my match, dude?
So Avalon has seen it. Where is this going down?
I don't know. I've been chasing him literally all around the state of Wisconsin. He's champion at CSW. I go to CSW. They make sure we're on complete opposite ends of the card.
That is fair. That was not my fault. Like I am general manager. I am essentially a Walmart greeter.
It feels like it's not a coincidence. You know, like it feels like I'm being ducked.
I have made it my life's mission in 2023 to make Joey Avalon's life miserable. And if that means bringing Quinn Whittock in to CSW to embarrass Joey Avalon, I'm not above that.
Let me see some dates here. That's scheduled. I've got all my opponents for the rest of the league scheduled up. I have opponents scheduled up for Frontline. I know he won't wrestle me at ACW. This is an open invitation. Honestly, an open invitation. I want to see you in Joliet. I want the Jet in Joliet.
No. I don't need to see him a second day in the month. You are not going to make me have to work with Avalon twice a month.
I think if he's not too comfy beating up the futures division of CSW.
Wait a minute. You know what? Here's how you do it. I think you're going about this the wrong way, Quinn. I think you need to ask Sierra. When can Joey come out and play? That's what I think you need to do.
Yeah. Steve, I don't think that's so bad of an idea.
I think if you call out her and you say, hey, can you take your man's testicles out of your purse and have him fight me? I think that's the way. This is.
I'm just trying to get into some
shit.
Friendly competition here. I mean, I could go at him the way that I'm going at Ewok to try to get. I mean, all I want is a match. All I want is a match. I'll even put the Rocket Pro Championship on the fucking line, dude. I want a match, dude.
Wait a minute. Kevin, I know Kevin is watching.
I will talk to Kevin. I'll call Kevin right now.
No, let's do it right here. Kevin, I know you're watching this show. Kevin, look at me. This is money. Come on, Kevin.
Kevin, if I come out of February champion, which, I mean, let's be honest.
Are you saying you want the Jet at Shamrock Shuffle?
I'm saying if the Jets
you need the luck of the Irish to beat that man.
Pop up.
Damn. Well, we got a lot of things to work on. One final question before we move on. Quinn Whittock, what do you want at the end of the day in this business?
World domination. I want to own the fucking world.
Hey, Red, does that work for you?
In just like one phrase. Yeah. Honestly, in some sense or another, I want to be immortalized. I just one of my biggest like fears for like after I die is like a couple generations go by and Quinn who? I don't want that. I want to leave something that like I watch wrestling from the 40s and 50s. I just earlier today watched Luthez versus Vern Gagne in the Chicago amphitheater from like, I think it was 53. And it was fucking mesmerizing. It's my favorite kind of wrestling, but wrestling in 1953. And I watched a whole bunch of stuff from the same shows, and a lot of those guys are gone. And it's been a couple of generations since those guys, and they're still here.
God, I think you and Christian Rose should watch TV together.
I want that.
He says those things.
To be remembered, I guess. That's all, really.
Well, you should be remembered, and you are doing yeoman's work wherever you are, whether you're at Rocket Pro, whether you're at Wrestle League, whether you're at Frontline, whether you're at IPW, you are one.
Also, catch me at ACW Wisconsin. I'm running for mayor of Oshkosh this year.
Are you? Could you win? Who's your running mate?
Honestly, if you put nothing but if the entire population of the town of Oshkosh was at an ACW show, I'm pretty sure if I ran for mayor, I would have a good chance. Those people give me more than I'm worth in adulation. I love that crowd up there.
I mean, you've got political aspirations, apparently, so that's pretty cool. I mean, why not? I mean, we need good, honest politicians, and you're a good, honest politician, right?
Absolutely. You can trust everything I say.
I've heard that before. All right. So, Quinn Whittock, we have established tonight that you are one of our favorite people. And, C-Red gave you hard roses tonight. C-Red gives roses but he gave you hard roses.
More than I'm worth, honestly.
Pretty cool. And Rion told me to shut the fuck up professionally and let you talk. So that was amazing too. So I appreciate that. This is the moment where we're going to say goodbye or not. If you want to stay on the Power Hour, we've got to talk about a few things before we log off tonight. You can stay, you can go. You have done more than the Power Hour. You've done like the Power Hour and a half.
Oh shit.
If you want to stay, you stay. If you want to go, you go.
You know what? I think I'll go. I gotta grab some food. Probably hit a workout or something.
I'm sure Joey Dalton is like waiting for you to pick him up from somewhere.
Probably. Yeah, we'll go check the messages, see where I'm needed. See where I can probably go hit some training.
Before you go, Quinn, you are really one of my favorite people in this industry. This industry has, it's not always easy. It's not always good. But whenever I see you at a show, wherever it is, it's always a better day because you are one of those people that make locker rooms better. And I think in 2023, if you make a locker room better, that speaks volumes about who you are as a person and a professional. And I hope you conquer the world in your domination. C-Red, any final thoughts before we let Quinn go?
No.
Red's done with you. Get the fuck out. Red's done.
Nah, tell him to fuck off, dude.
No, the reason.
Like, yeah, get the fuck out. We're done. I gotta watch something on TV.
Seriously. While we were doing this show, the news broke. ROH superstar Jay Briscoe has passed away.
Oh.
So on behalf of the Power Hour, and I doubt if it even anybody cares, but I care. Jay Briscoe was one of those guys. I was one of those first guys when Ring of Honor started touring. I was at the very first show in Oakland, or Chicago Ridge, I should say. So my condolences to his family, his children. Wasn't expecting to see that. So.
Damn. Well, that's not good.
As an innovator of like tag team wrestling, like that, Briscoes are some of the like top guys that Joey and I were watching when we were doing our tag team run throughout everywhere. And like, oh, wow, dude. Rest in peace, Jay Briscoe.
Well, that is a kick in the fucking balls, no doubt about that. The Briscoes, that name, when you say it, it invokes this business in ways that many other names don't. Whew. Well, all right, we move on. Quinn Whittock, thank you for taking an hour and a half to spend with us tonight. You are really one of the good ones in this business, and I sure hope that you go everywhere and you do dominate the world, because it would be good for the world.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I have very similar hopes.
You can catch Quinn Whittock many places. You can catch him on Wrestle League. In March, it's Wrestle League's anniversary show. You can catch him at Cupid's Carnage on February 4th, where he has got to put his title on the line against Marche Rocket, Steve Michaels, and Christian Rose. That is going to be a banger, fatal four-way main event. And you can catch him at Frontline Pro. The February 17th is the next one, or is there one in January?
Yes, February 17th. That will be facing Joey Dalton for the Frontline Pro Heavyweight Championship.
Once again,
2 out of 3 falls.
2 out of 3 falls.
2 out of 3 falls.
Die?
The kid earns his shots everywhere he goes, man.
Mr. 100 is, again, I call him Mr. 100 because he was our 100th guest. So he will always be Mr. 100 of the Power Hour.
Nice.
But again, Quinn, no bullshit. You are.
Oh, you can also catch me at Tanner's in Oshkosh, February 5th for ACW.
Quinn is everywhere you should go to watch great pro wrestling. Sexy Violence is really, really revolutionizing wrestling right now. So catch him wherever he is. It's worth the ticket purchase. I promise you. Quinn, thank you so much for taking time with us tonight. You truly are Sexy Violence, and I will see you when I see you, hopefully soon. You know, I'll never forget driving down that road. I'm driving to IPW, and you and Joey pull up beside me as I'm rocking out to Meatloaf in my car. And you're like, hey, that's Steve.
Yeah.
We love Quinn. Man. Quinn, thank you. We'll see you next time, man. Thanks, Absolutely, man. Have a good night.
Thank you.
All right. Quinn Whittock is gone. That was fun. Red, wasn't that fun?
Yeah, very.
All right, Red. All right, Red, let's clear this up. I said you got knocked the fuck out. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Do you forgive me?
I'll think about it. Now let's move on because I'm already.
All right, let's wrap this up. Red is already wanting to go have some dinner and do other things. So let's.
It ain't even that, dude. When you, like I said, when you think about the things that Jay Briscoe has brought to this business with his brother, you know, and at 38 years old, man, 38.
And
you know,
you and I are in our 50s, and we have seen some good days and some bad days. But can you imagine what it would have been like to shut the lights off at 38?
No. I mean, at 38, hell, my daughters would not have been grown. I mean, so my grandkids wouldn't have been here. So
I didn't have a son till I was 37. He'd have been 1 when I passed, if that's the case.
So, I mean, anytime you leave this earth too soon, it's like I can't imagine what his family is going through right now.
It's unbelievable. Gone way too soon. 2023. It's already started off. People are going, and I don't like it. I don't like the trend. All right, so real quick, we're gonna wrap this package before too long, but we got to talk about Chicago style wrestling. I got to talk about it because one of the best shows I've ever been on. Everything was great. I have never worked with IWTV before. IWTV was amazing. To be a commentator when you are being produced is something I have never experienced. And I learned a lot from the guys at IWTV. It was really, really inspiring. And the fact that the powers that be at CSW elected to go with this platform, I'm forever grateful because I really feel like it brought out the best in us. And Red, you said you watched the show on IWTV.
Yes.
And aside from some technical difficulties with the in-house microphones, you thought it was a pretty good show. And when you say things like that, it makes me feel pretty good about the effort we gave because you are a very harsh critic when it comes to professional wrestling.
I don't think I'm harsh, but I know bullshit when I see it.
Yes, you are the king of picking out the bullshit from around the world.
Like I said on my Facebook, one phone was watching CSW, the other phone was watching SmackDown, and my interest was on CSW. And the crazy part is, you would think these are people that I know personally or have some kind of bond with, but that's not where it was. You guys at CSW put on one hell of a show. Each match that was aired, from top to bottom, you gave something for everybody. It was either entertaining, there was some comedy in there, some drama. But the bottom line, it was wrestling. And that's something that, we're getting further and further, like we talked about Quinn, that's something that's becoming a lost art form. Uh, the wrestling part of it. And so that whole locker room deserves kudos, flowers, whatever. Everybody went out there and busted their asses.
It really
I
wasn't.
even, I even told you, there were a couple of matches where I was out and there were a couple of people. I was like, are they gonna crumble? Because like I said, pressure makes diamonds, but some people, they crack.
That's true.
And nobody cracked. Nobody cracked. Everybody went out, did their thing, and I'm proud of everybody.
Well, coming from you, that means a lot. And like I said, the Twitter explosion on Friday night was unexpected. CSW has never been on a streaming platform before, and what it did for the company and for the locker room was pretty amazing. Great show. From the pre-show, Drew Montgomery and Eddie in a spin the wheel, make the deal kind of scenario. Turned out to be an asphyxiation match. And they say, you never put the bag over your head. Well, Drew Montgomery put the bag over Eddie's head, and that was unpleasant. The 48th Futures Royal happened, and it was pretty good. We really enjoy the young talent at CSW because Axel Rico started there. A lot of people have started on the Futures Royal, and it's proof positive that the stars of tomorrow are working in our shows right now. So the Futures Royal was amazing. The Greek superstar took the Futures Royal this time, which was amazing. And then you had the scramble match. And I know, Red, you like to bust my balls about scramble matches, but Avalon, Dogface Bastard, Greg Murray, Chris Miller, Heather Reckless. It was a great match. I mean, from start to finish, it was really good. And Heather Reckless may have found her way into being a face accidentally because she got cheered after that match was over, which was
she did. But the best part for me was she was smart. I love the fact
she was smart.
Smart. She just let everybody beat everybody else, and she just roll in for a PN. Oh, kick out, roll back out, wait for somebody else to be on their back.
Yeah, she is the tiniest superstar, but she is so talented. And what a match it was.
Man, hold on. Is CJ okay? That's what I want.
Well, we don't really know yet. But like I said, CJ Esparza, I think he has 9 lives. He may have cashed in his 5th, but I think he'll be back in the future with live number 6 because that guy flies higher than anybody else. And he is something special, one half of the Dope Kings. We'll see what happens as future goes. Marco and Mulligan fought Jax Johnson and Ryan Matthews. Team Eminem versus Team Beautiful Johnson. Marco and Mulligan got the win there. Ryan Matthews and Jax Johnson as a tag team was something great that I wasn't expecting. They were so good together, and I don't know why. But there was just something about it. Even though they didn't win, I think I'd like to see more of it. And then we had Conan Lycan versus Cody James in a true Hoss battle. And did you see Conan Lycan do some of that off the top rope shit?
Yes.
That man is a giant, and
I was shocked.
Now, remember we used to talk about Marche when he was in the X Division, as big as he was doing X Division shit. Conan Lycan might be the second coming of a Marche Rocket because physically they are both gigantic humans, but what he does kind of mirrors what Marche used to do when he was at TNA.
I would agree. The only difference is he fought Cody James. So
big, purebred, Cody country.
But when you see him, even against his own, not against, but when you see him stand with his own guys, like they seem so small.
They're big dudes.
So, but yeah, I would agree with everything you said that that was a bull versus a bull.
And it was a hell of a match. We put your boy Marche in a trios match, and he teamed up with Adam Stallion, the gatekeeper, and Joey Mayberry, the demigod, versus Solomon Tupu, the Dragon of the Pacific, the counselor Eric Schultz, and what ended up being Riley Rose as the Irish strong style guy as their third partner.
First of all, who's the girl with Joe?
That's Jillian. Jillian is a social media representative.
Oh, okay.
Red, it's just the two of us right now. Everybody else is gone. This is old school last man standing shit.
I know.
It's just you and me, baby. The way it always was, maybe the way it's always meant to be.
It was that match. First of all, I didn't expect Marche to be in that match.
I love it when you say first of all, because I know what's coming after. It's going to be good.
And I saw the pairing, and I really wanted to text CSW management and ask them, what the fuck were y'all thinking about?
I'm a visionary, goddammit. General manager, I'm a visionary.
But, oh my God, that match was so entertaining.
It was good. It was really good.
And I honestly, I was eating during the time that match was going on. And I literally had to stop eating because I wanted to focus on, as you call, shenanigans.
I'm sorry your tacos got cold.
No, what did I eat Friday? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. That match, yeah. It's funny because you said we just talked about Conan Lycan and how big he is, and then you put Marche in this match, and then you put Solomon Tupu, and I'm like, why? Like, shouldn't they just have their own match? And then we just had this tag match, but all 6 men and 1 lady make this match entertaining from the standpoint of I didn't know who was gonna do what. Now I know Marche.
All day.
But I'm like, when Marche, I know when he's smiling in the ring, oh, he's having the ball.
Oh,
he's having the ball.
Fun. Yeah.
So he was smiling, and I was like, this is a match where I can see this is just pure entertainment.
Mark my words, Joey Mayberry is going to be something special for a long time. Moving on, Steve Boz defended the Metro title against Victor Iniestra. And I thought that was a great match. I mean, Iniestra is a lot younger than Boz, faster, flashier, but the BOZ does the BOZ things.
It's Boz, man. It's Boz. And I mean,
I was the O to the Z.
I was happy that, anybody who knows Steve Boz, then you get the reference. But I was waiting for the music. So when the music feels so good, feels so good. Ow.
Keep talking about this match. I'll be right back. I'm gonna let Ryan Matthews stand with you for a minute.
Steve Boz is at, some people would think he's past his prime. Some people think Steve Boz, maybe even a dinosaur. Steve Boz showed Friday night at CSW, why he's the Metro Division champion, and Steve Boz showed why he still has plenty of gas left in the tank. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have IWTV, please go on there and you can catch the replay of this show. Trust me, cheap plug, $9.99 a month, and you get to watch great companies like CSW, Dreamwave, and you can even look in the archives and you can find the Soul Touches and all our
A lot of
various
good shit in IWTV, no doubt about that. The BOZ did be, and that might be one of the first times the BOZ has been on IWTV. I heard a lot of people talking about that. Then was intermission, and TJ Steele and I had some words. Red, what are your thoughts on now my issue apparently with the Alpha Lion? I didn't know I had issues, but
I didn't know you had issues either, because normally you would talk about them. I would like to not think it's true, Steve. I would like to not think that you're the type of general manager that holds people back.
I didn't think I was. I've given opportunities to everybody. When he came out and said what he said and threatened to punch my teeth down my throat on IWTV, I was shocked. I didn't know what to say.
I felt what he said, but I felt like maybe me personally, I think that's something that should be said in your office, not in front of the crowd. That's
I
just
agree.
you
The
know.
message was received, but the way the message was delivered left a lot to be desired. And
Correct.
we're coming up to our February show, and rest assured, TJ and I will have a conversation, and I will deal with this directly. I wasn't expecting it. I was kind of blindsided. I was talking about birthdays. I was given a very few minutes to do some of the general manager things, and he interrupted that. So a couple of the fans didn't get the birthday wishes they were supposed to get, and fan satisfaction is my job. So he took me away from what my main responsibility is to the fans, and he said everything he said, and I heard every word. I've watched that footage many times, and I will have a response. Not here, not now, but in February at the show, we will react to TJ Steele and his ultimatum. And he wanted to knock my teeth down my throat. You know, that's unfortunate. But we'll talk about that at a later time. After that was over, we had the Hate Keepers, the tag team champions, versus one of the most popular tag teams we've ever had at Chicago Style, Big Mood, Jack Moody and Mateo Valentine. What a match that was.
I'm always impressed when I see Big Mood in the ring. I didn't expect for them to be as hot as they are, but they are.
So over. They are so over.
I can see, like, sooner or later, they're going to reach that brass ring and they're going to pull it down. So
They kind of have to. I kind of feel like that's. And here's a fun fact: in March, I am officiating Jack Moody's wedding. How about that?
wow.
Isn't that amazing? Don't you kind of want to go to that wedding now to see me officiate that shit?
No.
Ah, come on, Red. You're gonna be my date. My wife might not be able to make it, so you're gonna be my date. You're coming.
No.
You don't want to be on my arm? You'll be a privilege.
No.
I'm part of the clergy.
No.
All right. Red has made his intentions very clear. Moving on. The women's championship match. Evil Sierra. It is the era of Sierra. She is our champion. And she fought Shelly the Bombshell. And that was quite a match as well.
Yeah, Shelly put up one hell of a fight. There
Shelly
would
was
be
rookie
time-
of the year, as far as I'm concerned, in 2022.
Dude, I literally sat there thinking in my head, Shelly is about to walk away with this title.
Very
Shelly
close.
is about to walk away with this title. You know, if it
And
wasn't
who cost her
for,
that title? Who cost her that title?
you know who, your friend.
Eric Schultz. But it didn't end well for Schultz, did it?
Well, it didn't end well for anybody because there was this return, and
He's
I'm
back.
all the way on the south side, and you guys were all the way north side
Franklin
by-
Park for
by-
life.
by the damn airport, not too far. And I thought it was a jet flying over my house. It was the rumbling of everybody when Sky Blue made her return.
AEW superstar extraordinaire Sky Blue came in and delivered retribution unto Eric Schultz, kicked him right in the face. That kick heard round the world.
Dude, I thought his suspenders were gonna snap.
Man, that was some good stuff. So Shelly doesn't get the win, but Shelly showed up and showed out. Sierra gets the win and she retains her title, and she moves into February to fight for that title again. We will see what happens there. After that, we had our main event, and when you talk about main events, this was it. And what a banger it was. Axel Rico, the mayor of Puerto Rico, our champion, came in to defend his title against Jacob Fatu. We've had a lot of special guests at CSW over the years. Jacob Fatu might be one of the best I have ever seen. Did you hear those impacts that he put forward when he hit Axel Rico?
Dude, I didn't think Axel was getting back up after a couple of those shots. Like, I'm sitting now by this time.
Very oozy.
SmackDown has went off, and I'm watching AEW, and I'm still like, bruh, just stay down. Don't get up. Stop. And
the whole match, he was doing We the Ones. He was doing We the Ones. What does that mean? Is he going to end up on Smack? Is he the bloodline? Is he part of it? He sure as hell should be.
He's part of the family. I mean, in a sense. More importantly, I was disappointed that the Hate Keepers did not allow us to get the finish we deserve as fans.
Could not agree with you more. I tried to take action immediately. And you know what? They've laughed it off. I suspended them. They will not be in attendance in February. And they're like, well, it'll be another vacation for us. But I'll say this about that. Just because you're not going to be there in February doesn't mean you know what I have planned for you in March. Again, my goal in 2023 as GM is to make the Hate Keepers' lives miserable and to make Joey Avalon's life miserable. And if I have to bring Quinn in to do it, so be it. But I got some plans for them Hate Keepers. I'll tell you that. Maybe I have a plan or two, Red. What do you think?
I hope your name is Hannibal.
So don't miss CSW next month. We'll be back on IWTV, and it'll be great. Now, Red, before we go, and I know it's been a long show, we are approaching once again the 2 hour. So we should be the 2 power hour, apparently.
Right.
Let's go over SCW, which we have SCW's Winter Warfare happening.
Well, before that, we've got to talk about C3 Ultimate Wrestling.
Oh, yeah, C3 Gold. Get it done.
C3
I hate that Miles has that title. I hate it. I tried to steal it Saturday night, but I didn't get away with it.
Don't hate.
I hate
C3 Ultimate Wrestling this Saturday in Crown Point.
Miles is a paper champion. It's Chris Classic's world. We just live in it.
No, we have defeated
Miles sucks. Miles sucks. Miles sucks.
So, Mike Strong versus mystery opponent.
I love Mike Strong.
In a three-way dance, it will be Atlas J. Horn versus Mike Valentine versus Jackson Larkin.
JPL. Wait, another ARC member?
For the tag team championships,
I'm
it will
sure
be
I know how that's going to end.
Control Chaos versus Team Legit. For the women's title in her first defense, the Queen of Mean, Renee Van Peebles, will defend.
I named that. It was me.
Will defend her title against a
former. Too. She hates that I take that credit. She hates it.
Against a former guest of the Power Hour, and Jocelyn Navarro.
Oh, Cactus. Let's go. Let's go to C3 Cactus. You and me. We'll cheer on Jocelyn.
In a
boo, Renee. Boo.
Marcelo
Spade. That promo, by the way. I caught that promo. You were saved by the bell. You were Zach.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Marcelo Spade versus Aaron Stone.
As a dream breaker, he's one of my favorites. Aaron Stone's
and in the main event for the C3 Ultimate Wrestling title, it is the king of the whole show, the champion.
I'm the king.
Versus Cobra. Just Cobra.
The Cobra. The Cobra's going to kick his head right off his shoulders.
No, not going to happen.
Miles can't beat the Cobra.
Not going to happen.
One-on-one, Miles cannot hang with the Cobra.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, again.
Where's Chris Classic?
He's in the tag match.
Come on, man. He should be fighting for that title. It's his belt.
He's fighting for tag titles. So, again, this Saturday.
C3 if you need a GM.
Square Sports Academy, 105 North Court Street in Crown Point, Indiana. Doors open at 1. Bell time is at 1:30. For more information, C3UltimateWrestling.com, or you can find C3 Ultimate Wrestling on Facebook and social media.
Chris Classic is a legend. Go check that shit out. You need to. All right, this Saturday night in Chavance, Illinois, Winter Warfare happens. And what a card we have. Eric Schultz is going to get his ass handed to him on a plate by the man that hates me more than just about anybody in this business, Santana Starks, though I don't know why. What do you think?
I got Starks.
Yeah, Starks is all right. Then we have a tag team match. You've seen Dysfunction fight, right?
Yeah.
They're going after SCW Tag Team Gold versus Blaze and Spade, who may not be seeing eye to eye these days.
Yeah, I kind of saw that. So
that's interesting, huh?
Might have new tag champions.
Not on the same page. Dysfunction's good enough that maybe they could take advantage of that and get some gold, and they would be a great tag team champion.
Well, that would be the second time, right? If I'm correct.
Be damn good. In a triple threat match from hell, some POW superstars coming around the bend. Mason Perks and Kazile will mix it up in a triple threat with Koa Laksamana. That is a hell of a triple threat match. Those are guys that give no fucks about their bodies and will do crazy shit.
Just make sure I ain't nowhere in the way.
Then we've got a tag team called Top Shelf Odinson, which is El Dorado along with VJ Price and Odinson. We all know him. Versus Punitive Damages, which is a lawyer whose name is entire Freiberg III Esquire, VIP, and the Sheik. Top Shelf Odinson is going to kill those boys. And you want to know why?
Why?
Because Punitive Damages is no good.
I would agree.
Then we have a singles match. Our good friend of the show, Nikki Nix, my personal trainer, will take on Leslie La Muñeca. She is a heralded champion, very popular in the lucha area in the city of Chicago. She's coming all the way to Shaban, so it's Nikki Nix versus Leslie La Muñeca. What do you think about that match? That's pretty hot.
The women or the match?
The women are good, but the match, that's going to be
it'll be a great match.
Leslie's a champion. Nikki is hungry to become a champion. That's going to be a hotly contested. I'm sure implications for number one contender to the SCW Women's Championship are going to be on the line.
I don't know.
All right, well, you don't know. Meanwhile, we have the Genesis champion being defended by, of course, the Irish Car Bomb, Sean Mulligan, and he is taking on the bane of my existence, the career killer, Chris Miller. Who's going to win that match?
Irish Car Bomb.
Chris Miller is going to die a horrible, tragic death. Finally. Thank God. Then we have a match that you should have vested interest in. We've got the CSW Women's Championship match as the Angel, member of Evil Gains Evil, takes on the SCW Women's Champion, none other than the ARC, the Queen of Mean. She is Renee Van Peebles. Will C Red be in her corner?
Yes.
Maybe Aaron Xavier is going to be in her corner.
Okay, and Miles will be in my corner.
He's smarter than you. Does he cancel you out?
I just said Miles will be in my corner.
Why would Miles be in your corner? Are you saying the ARC always has a plan?
You know by now.
And of course, the bombshell match that was just released recently. JPH taking on the returning real sharpshooter, James Creed.
Oh, hell. Don't ask for no winner because I don't think it's going to be one. I just think it's going to be a fight.
I came back to SCW in 2023 for two reasons. One of them I can't disclose right now, but I will. The other was to reintroduce James Creed properly, and that is going to happen this Saturday night in Shabans. That is going to be a war like you've never seen before. So make sure you get your tickets. This Saturday night, Winter Warfare, Shabans, Illinois, SCW, back and better than ever. Happy New Year. Red, I think
Yes,
we've come to about the end of the power hour as we are at 2 hours and 10 minutes, 11 minutes.
Yeah.
We've given them way more power for the hour. But I would like to tell the kids about some upcoming guests that we have. Next week on this show, next Tuesday night, we welcome the LIM, the lovely Intoxicated Men.
That's all I care about.
Did you see that promo? Did you see
Yeah.
they made a promo for coming on this show? Already maybe my favorite guest.
I love it. I loved it.
I don't know what the fuck is going to happen next Tuesday night.
Neither do I. Neither do I.
On the 31st, we have a very special show, which I will talk about in the coming future. But something that happened tonight that is going to happen in February on the 21st. Tonight, based on Quinn Whittock talking about him, I reached out on social media. He has agreed to do the show one more time on February 21st. The Honorable Billy Whack joins us.
Wow.
Can't wait for that shit. And we have Alpha Zeta Zeta on Valentine's Day. So Austin Adams and
I ain't coming on Valentine's Day. You ain't getting me in trouble. Shit.
I'm just saying, we got the brothers of Alpha Zeta Zeta. We've got Hans Carden and Alpha, and Austin Adams will be on the show on Valentine's Day. And
you
then
crazy as hell. You must.
I got a surprise for you on February 7th, the week before Valentine's Day.
Okay, what about
Chalance Royale from OVW will be on this show.
what? You finally reached out to somebody outside the city.
Finally got somebody from OVW. So Just so you know, we're working hard to bring you the best guests possible. Tonight was splendid. Quinn Whittock is an institution unto himself. And Quinn, we thank you for your time and your talent. Really think you're one of the best in the business. And, like I said, January and February, we've got big things popping. The Power Hour. Despite what JFW says about us, we're still.
Well, you give them ammo, don't you?
Raise them up. We're still the ones. There you go. All right. On behalf of the Urban Sensation C-Red, I am Steve. Thank you to Quinn Whittock. Thank you to Rion Skills. Russian Blue Cactus Rack, we hope you are feeling better. We missed you tonight terribly. We will see you next time. Thank you for watching this show. We appreciate you. And we will see you next week as the Power Hour continues along the way, doing what we do best. Red, what do we do best?
I have no idea.
Neither. Good night, everybody.